Hello and welcome to another episode of the Wave, the wonderful Alberni Valley experience. I'm your host, Don Tecson, coming to you via Zoom, right here from my living room, here in the beautiful valley of Port Alberni. Today, I have a special guest. He was my roast and toast master during my last birthday celebration. He is here to share his story of what his wonderful Alberni Valley experience is. Before I get into more detail, I'll just introduce him and we'll go right to it and hear his wonderful story. Please welcome Stephen
Ta-da!
Novick. Yay,
Hello,
Stephen!
Don. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I still
Great.
remember very clearly in my mind what you said in my roast and toast birthday. I don't recall getting back at you. Oh, I do. I did. I told a story about how I got mad at you during our music trivia.
I'm a bit of a very competitive guy when it comes to
I
music.
know. And
So,
we are so lucky to have you on our team for music trivia. Have
okay.
you heard that they're doing music trivia online now?
Yes, they've got something called Quarantunes.
I know
Yet,
Darren and a friend from somewhere does a music trivia, and there's about 20, 25 people.
yeah, I haven't gotten around to joining them yet. Hopefully,
Mm.
one of these days.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should team up. Like at the last time I joined him, it was me and Dar Mooney, and I
Oh,
said
yeah.
should get Stephen in this. Me and Dar did pretty well actually. They were doing a 80s theme thing. Would that be
Ooh.
your forte, up your alley, the 80s music trivia?
I was there in the '80s, so
There
hopefully
you
I can
go.
remember it.
Oh,
So,
anyways, let's get to the wonderful Alberni Valley experience of Mr. Stephen Novick. Originally,
yeah.
you're not from here. You were born in Edmonton. So let's start from there.
Well, born and raised in Edmonton. I graduated in 2007 from McEwen College with a Bachelor of Applied Communications and Professional Writing. And that was the end of my academic career because I haven't really found a job. Someone
Mm-hmm.
else paying me to be a writer. But I've always wanted to be a writer, and like that was a childhood dream since 1985. And I stumbled into writing poetry pretty much full time after I took a creative writing class at that bachelor's degree program. And so, yes, been writing poetry more steadily ever since 2003.
Okay. Do you have any published works we could find online or something?
They're not available online. Still way too old school, and get them printed down at Staples, and then I sell them here in person. I have three of them. I only brought one of them with me today to kind of show off, and it's way over
Okay, well,
there.
for sure, we'll get to that. So
Okay.
tell me about your coming to Port Alberni.
It, in May of 2012, my parents and I, we were delivering newspapers in Edmonton, all the newspapers, the Journal, the Sun, everything. And there was a brochure included in the newspapers. There was a big, beautiful Vancouver Island brochure. Come visit the island. You know, it was a big touristy thing. And in that brochure as well was some if you want to move to Vancouver Island, here's some ideas. And my dad got the idea of getting maybe some modular housing, a house for myself and one for him and mom. And we ended up phoning the relatives on Vancouver Island saying, hey, we'd like to come out to Vancouver Island. We're checking out the place. And they said, Uncle Leon is moving out of his house on Virginia Road and going into the Senior Citizen Center, Abbeyfield. And so mom and dad bought that. They said, well, we'll buy the house on Virginia Road right then and there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened in 2012, you say.
2012, yeah.
So
Was
tell me about the trip here. What was it like from Edmonton to Port Alberni?
It took a day and a half. Uh,
Uh-huh.
just just in the family blue van. Dad was driving the big U-Haul. Mom driving the van. She did not like driving the Coca-Cola, but she did very well. And we were laughing, we were giggling along the way. You know, we were happy to get to Edmonton, happy to finally come to the island because we've always been visiting the island as, you know,
Mm-hmm.
touristing Albertans. And, you know, we're always kind of going, where would we like to, we'd love to live on the island, you know, where would we like to live? And, you know, as on vacations, we'd pass through Port Alberni to get to Tofino, but we had family here,
Mm-hmm.
so we'd stop and visit. So ultimately, Port Alberni, I like to say Port Alberni chose us, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, so I like it. I mean, I really am enjoying my time here, island time in the Alberni Valley. It's fantastic.
So
And
what are the few of the favorite things you like about Port Alberni? Like we have mountains, we have ocean, we have lakes, we have falls, we have wonderful people. Oh my God, I knew it. That's gonna happen. There's a
oh well,
ringtone going off right here. I knew it's gonna
you
happen.
are a busy man, Don. That's all I can say.
That's my mom's phone, not mine.
So you know what it's like living with mom or dad, you know. It's,
Yeah, yesterday I
anyways,
was afraid that it would happen.
oh
So
well.
don't talk on the phone, mother. Not now. Tell him to call back later. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is live, but that is the life in Port Alberni.
Yes, anything can happen, and it will happen. So,
That's okay. Like I said, I'm broadcasting from my home,
yeah,
and
it's
I'm gonna
nice.
kill that person later who chooses to call my mom at this time. Anyway,
Doesn't anybody know? Come on. Universal, this is when we do the
see,
wave.
there's mom with her
Hi,
spring
Mom.
I can't fault mom because she's making all these delicious spring rolls. They're gonna be delivered tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it's like,
Oh well,
it's been a
mom
while
lives
since
in
I
me.
had a spring roll. I'm sure that they're delicious as ever.
Well, of course, I'll give you some tomorrow as
Tomorrow.
part of being my guest. I'll give you a complimentary 12 spring rolls. Well,
All
it's
right.
also partially my fault. I should set up now that mom's staying with me and she's very busy around the house. I mean, I should try to find a way to set up somewhere else that's gonna not gonna be a distraction or somewhere else, right? Anyway,
Okay.
continue. I'm wearing a Bluetooth mic. Hopefully, it won't pick up the sounds or anything.
Okay.
Anyway, so you came to Port Alberni. What was the first thing that struck you about the surrounding area when you drove into Port Alberni?
Um. Oh God, it's like I don't think I can remember exactly, but it's what eventually struck me was just the natural beauty here in Port Alberni. You know, all those fabulous trees we have, and the vibrant colors that they can be. You know, it's I think they say Victoria is a garden city, but we're pretty much a garden city here too. It's amazing the variety and colors of flowers and beautiful trees we have here. 50 Shades of Green, And so, yeah, just the natural beauty is a wonderful respite. It's a beautiful alternative to all that traffic and gray buildings of a major big city.
I've never heard that. You should coin that phrase, 50 Shades of Green. That should
You
be a
never
Port
know.
Alberni brochure, like Port Alberni, 50 Shades of Green.
Yeah, okay, well, see,
You are a writer.
yeah, and a crazy one at that, too, so
Oh yeah, I see some of your posts on Facebook. They're quite interesting, to say the least.
they can be, that's for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so uh, we met actually at music trivia
And yes, in the
when
Kingsway
the
pub.
COVID thing wasn't going on yet, and we were still able to
Whew.
socialize.
Yes,
And
great.
we ran into each other in karaoke as well. But the most interesting part of our interaction is something that I would like to talk about right now is
Okay.
Alberni Words on Fire. Tell me something about that.
The Bunny Valley Words on
The Alberni
Fire,
Valley Words on Fire.
our lovely monthly spoken word open mic here that we
Hmm.
pre-COVID did it here at Char's Landing. Yay! All her beautiful decorations and yay! Thank you, Char. It's a lovely venue here, and
Hmm.
now in the midst of COVID, we're doing it on Zoom. And lucky me, I get to be here with Shar at Shar's Landing. I feel it's kind of like I'm bridging the past with the future. You know, it's like everyone remember Shar's Landing, the beautiful place and the spirit that it has, and so well, that's what we're doing now. Is just, you know, everyone comes up and does their poems or their short stories or their excerpts of longer works, and then everyone claps and waves, and we all have a great time and give everyone a little bit of feedback in the chat. Yeah, it's still fun, you know. We're all having a great time, you know. We all laugh and you know and
It is a lot of fun. And one thing I will not fail to mention as well is you came out in a play at the Capitol Theater.
I came out in a play. Which
Yeah,
one? Oh
looking.
yes,
Remember?
I definitely.
You forgot already.
No. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I've done
Oh, okay. Did you come
several
out in
plays.
several plays? I've only seen you on Looking. So have you been in other plays prior to this COVID stuff?
Yes, probably before you moved to Port Alberni, I was in a show called Let's Murder Marcia. That was my actual Portal Players debut way back in like
Oh, okay.
2013, I think it was. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was. You
Yeah,
know,
I wasn't in Port Alberni then. I moved to Port Alberni in 2015. So you were involved in a play called Let's Murder Marcia?
yes.
Yeah, what was
So
the play about?
there's a
Was it a
lady.
comedy?
Yes, it's a comedy, a dark comedy about a woman who reads so many murder mysteries, and then she loves them so much that she overhears a conversation between her husband and some other person, thinks they're plotting to kill her, and so we end up, you know, deciding that's how we're going to do it, or we'll shock her out of reading all these books by pretending to, you know, actually kill her.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and the last one I saw you in was called, if my memory serves me right, and I'm not that old yet, Looking. Was that the name of the play?
Yes, Looking, it's a Canadian play by Norm Foster. It was an awful lot of fun, that one. Oh, man.
I know I saw you in it. You were fantastic. You were one of the lead characters.
Yes, I was. Well, we had an amazing cast of 5 performers in that play, and I feel that I really enjoyed that play because in some ways that was like my debut as a lead actor. But
Okay, yes.
but it was the entire cast that really put that, you know, it's everybody in that show that was involved, you know, uh, Bonnie Campbell, Dale Hillman, Dina, I can't remember her last name, Dina Teen, she's also the fabulous lighting lady at Portal Players, and of course Nick Burton, he was our
Yeah,
fabulous
he was your waiter, your walk in, walk off thing.
Oh yeah, had a lot of fun with that show. And at one point during the rehearsals, I said, you know, the outtakes would be better than the actual show. So, but the show was great. You
I
know,
really,
we did
yes, I
so
saw it.
well.
I saw it. I think I saw it twice or something. I really
Yay!
enjoyed it. I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it.
I mean,
The only,
I had people come up to me, and I'm shopping in Walmart, and they say, "Oh, we loved you in that play." And I'm like, "Okay, thanks." All right. So.
So what was the audition process? I think I read for the play. I auditioned for the play, but I guess I wasn't. They couldn't.
Um,
They couldn't decide whether to cast me as a woman or a man. So they decided not to cast me at all.
hmm. Well, you never know.
Kidding.
We could probably find a play like that for you one of these days.
Well, I was in Mamma Mia. That was a blast.
Oh yes, Mamma Mia would be a blast. And unfortunately, I missed that show. Uh, I don't get out all that often, except for, you know,
Okay.
music trivia was on fire, delivering the
Well,
news.
Words on Fire goes on now. So I think you had your first Words on Fire 2 weeks ago, I
Uh,
assume. Was it the first one or the second one?
that was our second one 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
okay.
We resumed
Yes.
in April, and now with Charlene's wonderful assistance, we're doing it twice a month, actually, the second and the last Wednesday of the month. So,
Yeah, that's one thing that came out, positive thing that came out of this crisis or this pandemic.
mhm.
Birds on Fire used to be once a month. Now that we have this pandemic, we have twice a month. Imagine that.
Oh yay! Hey, I mean, I'm cool with it. It's like it kind of takes me back to my last little time in Edmonton, where I was with at the place called the New Wunderbar Hofbrauhaus. We were doing an open mic once a week, every Sunday.
Mm.
So I'm like, coming here to Port Alberni, I thought, could I do the same thing? And it's like once a month, and I'm like, oh man. But now we're doing it twice, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Well, there you go. Well, maybe we can, as we move forward, we can do it once a week. Like,
I
we
don't
have to
think
do it
so.
once. That's too much.
Might just be a little too often,
Okay.
Not give enough people to write stuff.
Oh,
We
I
need some
suppose so.
time.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, there's so many people there who already have so much, saved up that they're just raring to go, right?
Oh, absolutely. It is. It's incredible to see the depths of the talent and the creativity here, and the amazing amount of people that we have here in Port Alberni that are extremely talented in all sorts of artistic endeavors, whether it's writing or musicianship or painting, sculpting, dancing, doing things like this, podcasts like you're doing. It's incredible, and I want to give a quick shout out to the more the crew, actually, the crew. A shout out to the crew of Looking and all the other members in the Portal Players as well. Didn't want to
Oh yeah, I
forget them.
interviewed Brent Ronning a couple of weeks ago, or actually a month ago maybe, and
Don't
Portal
we look
Players is
alike?
still going. Yeah, he could be your brother, older brother though.
He's a beard brother. Because one time I was at Shaw's Landing and Nathan Sadley, and myself were sitting
Oh
in a
my
row.
goodness! I should get the three of you and interview you and Nathan
Here,
and Brent.
it was impressive, and the funny thing was Brent was telling Nathan a story of how he's walking around in no frills, and someone comes up to him and says, "Hey, you're that Wars on Fire guy." And Brent's like, "No, not me, not me." So, and I'm like,
Well,
"Okay."
you got me curious now. How come I never see Brent on Words on Fire? Is that his thing?
Probably not. I really don't know. One of the first groups of people I tried to approach and said, "Hey, this is something perhaps right up your guys' alley. It's an opportunity to do dramatic monologue. So I wanted more actors from the Portal Players to come out and do things, but I guess it boils down on one degree to writing original material.
I see.
If you don't write it, you haven't got it to say. I mean, I know there's Dale. I mentioned him before. He keeps telling me that he wants to come out to Words on Fire, and he's going to bring his guitar. And I'm like, okay,
Okay,
go do it. And he hasn't made it. It's an availability issue as well. So
I see. Okay, now going back to the wonderful Alberni Valley experience, Stephen, can you share some stories about, since you've lived in for 8 years, are there any stories of your wonderful Alberni Valley experience that stand out, that come to mind now?
there actually are a few very interesting stories.
Okay.
We here mentioned a little while ago about my books. I
Hmm.
have three of them. They're entitled Wordslinger's Poemfolio, I Kill Me Sometimes, and Windmill Product. And a couple of years ago, I was volunteering at a store down in Harbor Key called Art Matters. And this beautiful couple comes wandering in, and they're looking around the place. They're a couple of looky-loos. They're just looking around at all the art and all the stuff on the shelves and everything. And then they're just about to walk out the door. But at one point, they ask, you're obviously in this artist collective. What do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm a writer, and my books are sitting on the shelf over there. So they amble over and look at the books, right? And the lady there starts reading out loud one of my poems,
Hmm.
and I sat still behind the cash register, saying the poem at the same time because I had it memorized. And it was a funny little thing. And then they put the book down. And they kept walking around the store, looking. And then they say, oh, well, it's been fine. It's, we're just like tourists here, and then we got to go move on to the next shop. And they're okay, goodbye. People come in and out all the time at that store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so all of a sudden, like not even a minute has elapsed, she comes running back into the store and she says, I got to buy the book. So she spent $10.70 and bought a copy of my book.
So what was
That,
that book again? The title of the book?
that one in particular was I Kill Me Sometimes. It's
Yeah,
my,
that's when you were rattling off the titles of the book. That was the one that caught my attention. I kill me sometimes. So was it about your jokes and your
yes.
twisted humor?
Oh, absolutely. I originally wrote it to be a showcase piece, a collection of my what I call light free verse. Just humorous poetry, lots of wordplay, jokes, everything. Then
Okay.
the theme of the
But
book, yeah.
I was just wondering, so if I were want to get a copy of the book, so I have to go to you and go to a store somewhere? It's not available online or anything?
It's not available online, and it's not in any of the stores, unfortunately, yet, because I'm just too lazy to approach the stores and say, "Would you like to sell my book on my behalf?" So you have to reach out to contact me either through email or Facebook or something, and we'll set it up. You know.
Well, I guess you and me should talk and we should promote that. I really, that's a very catchy title. I kill me sometime.
Oh yeah, I mean
And
it's
maybe we could, do you have it there? Maybe you could sample some of it for us today or some other
actually.
time.
I did bring a copy of Windmill Product, actually my third book, which
Okay.
which is I'm going to make that the focus of my feature reading on May the 27th when I get to do 20 minutes on
Okay. Oh, so
Zoom.
you're gonna be our feature reader in Words on Fire on the 27th?
On the 27th, yes. Actually, we're because one of the things we've changed in Zoom now is we're having two feature readers. We're
Oh,
having
I see.
a local feature reader and then someone from however far away they want to be coming from. You
Well,
know.
yeah, because now there's no limit to time and space because we have the internet and we have Zoom, right?
So yeah, like my one of my co-producers here at Wars on Fire, Jacqueline Carmichael, she helps arrange all the bookings with guests, and she's trying to reach out to get people from further east. You know.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm. So
I'm really looking forward to that. So, okay, I'll give you this time to sample some of your work from your book called Windmill
Windmill
Products.
product, yes, yeah.
All right, Stephen, take it
One
away with
second,
Windmill Products.
hang on. Of course, I had to leave it all over here. You guys,
Of course you did. Well, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, as Stephen is getting, oh, there it is, just quick. I remember when you were doing the roast and toast, you had to go back and forth to get your drink.
it wasn't that the perfect moment right now in this interview when they should have phoned. Anyway, and
Well,
so
anyway, I was going to point out your backdrop right there, La Posante and Luma, the beautiful works of art behind you. Thank you, Sharp, for setting that up.
yeah, that's the beautiful works of the art rave community here.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All
So
right. So here we go with Mr. Stephen Novick with Windmill Products.
yes, and it's the poem I want to read is entitled. If I could, should have marked the page where it is. It's like page 35. It's entitled "It's Too Easy." Right? It's too easy to write some days, with one line carrying the thrust of the thought. The other line, or filling silence in the room. Placeholder words like potluck and quandary appear, which you sometimes find yourself in, without knowing exactly what that means. But you continue, the mind racing, the cursor blinking, waiting, the audience waiting too. The connection broken between muse and you, between mind and fingers. More placeholder words assemble in their respective cues. The guidebook comes out with increased desperation instead of curiosity. Search and rescue, search and research, search and retrieve, search and restate, search and insert, search and revive, search and surprise. I didn't know Quasimodo had a first name, and it's not Oscar. Ooh, have I lost track of the thrust now? Thinking cap ought to be locked on as opposed to strapped. The swirl of consciousness picks up steam and the stream speeds up. The placeholders tumble now. Struggle, concentrate, mindset, fixed, constant, stuck, stubborn, older generation. Oops, that might be offensive. But can't always write defensive. This is an art, not a game. Not a mind game I wish to lose. Not after finding out I'm pretty good at it. Not after finding community with other players. I think I wrote somewhere that I'd like to get every word in English into a poem. Well, here goes. Ballyhoo and slipknot, migraine and toe jam, doorknob and socket, shortcut, paradigm, and an old joke of mine. Brother, can you spell paradigm? Narwhal, platypus, kangaroo blue jeans, television syndicated reruns, you know what I mean. Close call and function key, accountant and asparagus, juxtaposition and ring-a-ding-ling, contestant and catacomb, attaboy and atomic bomb. Spruce goose, out on the loose, among the moose, on the search for orange juice. It didn't start out as a rainy day, but here we are nearing the end of May. Tape rolls over into June. Summer starts up a season of jamborees, get-togethers, picnics, and festivals, and fireworks! Punk rock! Football, goat herding in the Shire, dresses and tresses, poetic successes, literary excessive, mind-maggling executives, boredom-busting preventatives. Please don't pop the laxative. Apoplectic, apologetic, and collegiate, coagulate and feed the ducks. Seismic, meaning a lot of shit's going to come down. It's too easy some days.
That was fantastic. Oh,
Yay!
so that's on your third book called
Windmill
Products.
Yeah.
So could you just give us a little background of why that title for the book, Windmill Products? Like it's called like it's a windmill product, like windmills of your mind or something?
Yeah, but WHIM, WHIMM. So just
okay.
Wordplay. Yeah.
Exactly. You are a bit of a wordsmith, definitely.
Yes,
Poet,
definitely. Yep, I am.
artist, poet, music trivia champion,
Yeah,
friend,
absolutely.
actor, and host of Alberni Words on File. Did I say that right? Or
The Alberni Valley Words on Fire! That's how you do
there
it.
you go.
So don't
Well,
let the WWE know.
so people who want to join the Words on Fire via Zoom, where do they go? What do they do?
I think what you have to do is join the event on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
In the Alberni Valley Words on Fire Facebook event page. I'm not sure if it's also on Shaw's Landing events page, so I think you just have to kind of look around for it. It probably there's a write-up in the newspaper about it, and they might have a little more information. You know, I'm such a Luddite when it comes to the computers and the technology. I'm very grateful that I have Charlene to do all the computer work for me. I just get to be the talented host.
Definitely a talented host. Even though the way you did for my what you did for my roasted toast event. Actually, it was the last public event I was in. I don't know if that was the same for you, but that was the last weekend public event at Shaw's Landing, March 8th, 2020, and then the week after, everything shut down. So I'm
Wow.
just fortunate that we were able to do it when we did it.
We certainly had a hell of a party that night, didn't
Oh,
we?
it was very nice. Thank you so much for, being
Well,
my
thank you
roast
for.
master and toast master.
I didn't think I could do it. I had no idea how to do it, and luckily you told me how. So,
Well,
you.
you're a natural. I mean, you're doing it on Words on Fire. It's just a matter of like tweaking it a little bit. And I
Sure.
had a blast. And
Didn't
the
everybody?
video, fortunately, we did catch most of it on video.
Oh, that's
And
good.
it's in editing right now. And soon enough, we're gonna post it. And
All right.
we'll show the world how much fun we were having on my 57th birthday with Roastmaster, Mr.
Woo.
Stephen Novick.
Yeah. Okay. Way to go, Don. Yeah. That totally was a blast. You know.
Alrighty. Well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you
Okay.
again, Stephen.
Yep.
Roastmaster, Toastmaster, host of Alberni Words on Fire,
Me.
actor,
Yep.
actor, poet, and artist, and music trivia champion. Thank you so much
Sure.
for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and remember, You are always welcome to the wonderful Alberni Valley experience. We will catch you next time on the way.